Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. If you can just write to me and let me know that you are there. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وآله الطيبين الطاهرين أما بعد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي أما بعد السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I need to know that you can see me and everything is transmitting properly. If you can just write or give me a quick call on my phone and let me know that I'm ready to go and everything is working, then I'll start. Anissa, am I ready to go? Okay, I've got some messages here that's okay, I'm good. Okay, fine. Rahmullah man qara al-Fatiha. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين شفيع ذنوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وحبيب قلوبنا أبي القاسم محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين وأصحابه المنتجبين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. أما بعد السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless our mother, our dear Marhuma, with abundance of His mercy and keep her in a place that she is pleased with. And indeed, her leaving this world is something that she welcomes after seeing the beauty, the ease, the bounties that God has prepared for her. I offer my sympathies and condolences to the whole family, and in particular to the children that Marhuma leaves behind, Shabir Bhai, Sajjad Bhai, and Yasmin Bhai, and to the rest of the family and the close ones and the near ones. Such pains are not easy, but then mother is the most intimate part of our life. And when a mother is lost, it actually breaks the heart in a way that the heart cannot be the same after. This is a part of losing a mother. She creates us within her womb selflessly. She gives of her being so that we may become. She ruins her health, her figure. Then she goes through the pangs of birth, and at the extremity of that pain, when she sees us, she forgets everything and instead smiles and thanks Allah. Then she feeds us through her own self. And we find a comfortable bed in her lap, and him next to her chest. She spends sleepless nights watching over us. She eats only those foods through which she can nurture us and sustain us. She helps us, she cleans us, she feeds us, she dresses us, she helps us walk. When we fall, the pain that she feels is much greater than the pain that we feel. To the extent that when we forget all about our childhood years, she still retains those memories, at times with a smile, at times with a tear. She makes bargains with God. Cure my children, give them good upbringing, and I shall do this for you and I shall do that for you. She sacrifices everything that she has in order to give us a good upbringing. When we reach adulthood, she is preoccupied with our education. When we are educated, she is proud and she is happy that we are earning and we are living. And even then, she saves up and gives to us. Then she looks forward to seeing her grandchildren. And in her grandchildren, she sees us again. She is no less than the ray of the divine in human form. Her lap is the expression of the mercy of the most beloved God. There is no one closer in emulating God, and no one more befitting of the description of God than a mother. It is the right of a mother that we should break at her death and our hearts be torn into pieces. For that is something she is worthy of. The pains that we feel is a tribute to our mother and a testimonial that she was indeed a mother, worthy of being a mother. The amazing thing is that I also feel that when she is dying, she forgets the trauma of death and she looks at her children and she says, "Oh Lord, let them not pain as they bid me farewell." I am of the belief that even when we lay her to rest, she is more concerned about what will befall us and less concerned about her onward journey. And once she has been laid to rest, I do not think she leaves us even at that point. She is constantly preoccupied with us, and she is constantly seeking from God opportunities to come and visit us. Such is a mother. And the love of a mother is given to us as a gift by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that we may awaken from within to a finer truth, a truth where we are not preoccupied with the acquisition of this world, but we acknowledge that there is something far grander within us, that we are humans, we are loving creatures, caring creatures. We are not selfish beings in essence. That the plight of others is our calling to help them. She awakens us to that beauty of humanity. A father may provide for us, but a mother instills humanity within us. She makes us humans. Make no mistake that when a woman displays her motherliness, whether she gives birth, or she's not given the opportunity of giving birth to children. But when she displays her motherliness and motherly care, then that makes her eligible for the embrace of God and the most merciful one. For she, at that point, arrives at acknowledging that beauty within her, and she spreads that beauty outwards. What we need to understand here is that whilst we are alive and in this life, we have a task at hand. The first thing we need to realize is that the people around us are the beautiful lights of God. We cannot take them for granted. What a shame that whilst people are alive, we are unconcerned, and when they die, we speak longingly for them. But when they were alive, that is the time when we should have cherished their company. We should have loved them, and we should have thanked God that, oh God, you have given this beautiful gift to me in the form of a mother, father, siblings, uncles, aunts, children, grandchildren, friends. In that way, even an enemy is a beloved friend and a gift from God. Had it not been for the enemy, we would not have the opportunity to forgive, to care for somebody who does not care for us, to want the best for somebody who wishes evil towards us. A friend in that way is a great gift from God for us to actualize our inner godliness. So, this life is a beautiful place if we want to make it beautiful. It is a miserable place if we do not awaken to the truth of what is going on. We are consumed by our sufferings, but we do not awaken to the fact that these sufferings are actually a calling for us to arrive at that unending state of bliss. We are caught up in ego, arrogance, pride, in competing against each other. Whereas the real story is for us to humble ourselves, to acknowledge the goodness that is there, to bring the best out in ourselves, and to allow others to bring the best out in themselves. We need to acknowledge that God is the most beautiful one, the most splendid one, the blind lover. He will never intend anything bad for us. He is concerned about us, and he is preoccupied with us. If a mother who is a faint ray of God's unending beauty can be so selflessly consumed by her love for her children, then imagine the love of God for his creatures. Sometimes the mother withholds gifts from us in order to discipline us. Why can we not see the same to be true of God? That sometimes we face difficulties, but they are only there to awaken us to something which is much better for us. On the point of difficulties of life and suffering, God cannot do anything but good. It is how we interact with that situation. When our business empires crumble, it's a unique opportunity for us to reflect and to say that even if the whole of this earth was in my possession, when I begin to breathe my last, how much of it is coming with me anyway? In that way, we will console ourselves and know that possessions do not mean anything. What is of value is for us to actualize the treasures that are within us so that we may become needless of outer treasure. If we are made by the kingdom of Solomon, then we are broken by the kingdom of Solomon. But if we are made by the unending treasures of God that are within us, then nothing can break us. We become the wealthiest of the wealthy. As one of the Imams supplicates, in his wonderful whispered prayer that, "Oh, treasure of those who have nothing and nothing to their ownership. Oh, the unending treasure." Imagine if when our business empires collapse and internally we say to ourselves, like Imam Hussein said, he says, "Oh Lord, there came a time upon me when I was in the womb of my mother. I wasn't aware of the challenges of life, nor was I aware of myself. You took care of me, you fashioned me, you formed me so perfectly. Then you brought me into this world. Before you brought me into this world, you had sustenance waiting for me within the bosom of my mother. O Lord, you ensured that the sun rose every morning, that the heavens showered plentifully and mercifully, that the earth yielded its crop, that my sustenance awaited me before the need arose. O Lord, the one who has looked after me so well in my yesterday, shall you abandon me in my tomorrow? Even if my whole business empire has crumbled and collapsed, you are still there. And if I have you, then what don't I have? And if I have lost you, then what do I have? If we can just awaken to that inner truth, that inner beauty, if we can see the world as the handiwork of our beautiful God, will we find anything despicable or ugly? If we awoke to that truth that is colorless and colorful, would we distinguish between white and black and brown and yellow? If we awoke to that love, who is neither a man nor a woman and authored both equally, would we have gender biases? If we could tap into that untarnished splendor and beauty that is beyond religion, do you think we would be fighting in the name of religion? We would arrive in a world of religion beyond religion. So, this world is a great, great opportunity for us to find that true hidden beauty. And God is that beauty awaiting to be disclosed from within ourselves. I will narrate two things because it's an occasion in which I find it pertinent to narrate. Imam Hussein, in his prayer, similarly addresses God. He says, "God, what sort of a God are you? You gave me everything before I asked you. After giving it to me, on an occasion, you asked me to give some back to you by sharing it with my human family. With a heavy heart, I took a bit of what you had given me and gave it to your creatures. With a smile, you accepted that gesture. You multiplied it 70 times over and gave it back to me. Oh God, how can I understand you?" And then Moses, at a point, was going to the mountain to engage with God in his conversation. A disbeliever came to Moses. He said, "Moses, it is the claim of your God that he has created us all." Moses said, "Yes." He said, "And it is a claim of your God that he sustains us all." He said, "Yes." He said, "Go tell your God, I do not acknowledge him or believe in him. Tell him, if this life is from him, take it away. If the air that I breathe is from him, ask him to snatch it from my mouth." Moses engages with God. God says, "Moses, when you go back, say to that man, your God bids you peace and says to you that whilst you are my creature, you can deny me and arrogantly oppose me. But because I am your Lord, I will never stop sustaining you and caring for you. The difficulties of this life are for us an opportunity to grow through. If we can only understand the nature of this life, that it is there for us to awaken to the truth of ourselves and for us to actualize our humanity and our godly light, and that this life is a fleeting thing, it is passing very quickly. If only we could remind ourselves of this, that millions and billions have gone before us. Billions are taking birth and dying whilst we are in this life. We will understand that the purpose of life is not to eat and drink, sleep and enjoy ourselves. Life is not all about breaking in calamities and hardships. Life is an opportunity, and there's a great task at hand for us to actualize the beauty within. So when a difficulty comes, as opposed to crying at the difficulty and breaking and hurting, after the initial hurt, we awaken to the opportunity within that suffering and grow through it. We have lost a kind mother. The pain is there. But now, after encountering the pain, we need to let the heart soften. We need to let the ego lower itself in that softened state of heart to become greater humans, to become godly, to look at our beautiful world and say, there are many little children who have taken birth and their mothers have died at birth. They are my children. I am their parent. That is what we have to learn. When difficulties befall us, we become bigger than the difficulty. We stand with God and able to tolerate it, not to break through it. If we can understand that, then the few fleeting years of this life become the greatest, most enjoyable, and pleasurable years of this life. I'll give an example. If we were playing a game of tennis, and if we always found players that could not challenge us, would not allow us to evolve in our game and try out our skills, we would find that situation a bit of a failure. At that point, we would welcome a strong opponent so that the best that is within us can be actualized. That is how we need to see life. We need to see God as the peak of the beauty that we aspire to arrive at. Once we see God in that most beautiful way, then to connect with God lovingly, to open up to God, to make God a personal companion. We will not reach God, but God will reveal Himself through us. It is not a strange phenomenon. When two people are very much in love with each other, they begin to imitate each other. They melt away in each other. They adorn their characters with the other's quality, with the quality of the other. Once we open up to God and make Him into that intimate companion, and we lower our guard and we share ourselves with God, our aspirations, our misgivings, our concerns, our hurt, when we share with Him openly, God absorbs them, shares with us, relieves us of these anxieties and fears. And He says, but I am here. I am with you, O friend. I will never leave your side. I am watching over you and taking care of you as well. Trust me. Go through it. Once we arrive at that beautiful point with God, what happens is that we take on the beauty of the friend, and the friend begins to reveal his beautiful self through our own being. And within no time, we become as loving, as gentle, as caring, as forgiving, as parental as our beloved God and our beloved friend. Mother is indeed an introduction into that aspect of God, that we may find God through her caring nature. And once we have found Him, then we allow that parental nature to emerge through our own being. That is how a life needs to be led by us, that we become full, beautiful creatures from within, as untarnished as the most beautiful one. I would like to end by stating one or two things. Abraham was visited by the angel. The angel said, Abraham, God wishes to see you. He's asked me to take you away from this world and on to Him. Ibrahim said, O angel, am I not a friend of God? The angel said, Yes. He said, Therefore ask God, will He cause His friend to die? Angel was baffled. So the angel submits the question of Ibrahim to God. And the response of God comes, Tell a friend. How can he stay away from his friend? Ask a friend. How can he stay away from his friend? At that, Ibrahim smiled. And he said, Take me away, O angel. Imam Hussein, after the epic battle, he comes to a stage where he falls from his steed. And at this point, he is covered with wounds. His breaths have become constricted. He has lost his loved ones. Very, very thirsty is he. When he turns upon the dust of Karbala on the burning sands, they cry out, Behead the man! They circle in on him. And the commander of the army of Sham narrates, By God, never in my life did I see a man who has lost all his sons and his brothers and his companions, who has been so hungry and thirsty, so wounded. But on his last breaths, he radiates so beautifully. Such serenity prevails upon him. And his lips are moving in the praise of God. And he is saying to God, Oh God, you are so near, and you respond to every plea of mine. Oh Lord, indeed, you are the one whom I trust in every affair, and there is no one worthy of adoration save you. He said, when we saw this scene, it distracted us from the thought of beheading him. At that point, I went near to him. I said, Oh Hussein, do you have forgiveness in your heart for me? He said, Hussein looked at me and he said, I have forgiven you. Such is the beauty that this man acquires through God, through the tribulations and the hardships that he endured. He did not become miserable nor a broken man. If anything, he arose as a godly soul and displayed the beauty of his God. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Bless us all, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless our dear mother, give her a lofty rank in His proximity and the proximity of those that she loved, the blessed prophets and the blessed imams and the awliya. May she be reunited with her family that she has lost before her, and may she be happier there than she was with us. For indeed, as the prayer says, it is a momentary separation. You have gone before us, and we are soon to join you. May Allah bless her dear soul. May Allah bless all those that we have lost. May Allah bring ease to our difficulties and the difficulties that this world faces. May Allah give us the opportunity to share His bounties that He has given to us with others. May Allah give us caring hearts and loving hearts. May Allah give us the insight to recognize that the human family is our family and our concern. May Allah bring goodness to humanity and remove all evils from us. Let us recite Surah Fatiha for our beloved Mother Marhuma and for all those who have gone before us. Al-Fatiha. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. I'll take leave now. Be blessed. Allah be with you all, and inshallah see you virtually before eventually we see each other physically. And all of you who are here, Allah bless you all. God bless.